Hello everyone. Today I have with me our very favorite mentor, Mr. Vinay. So today we wanted to address, is age just a number?
So I have two takes on this particular issue, and we have to define what is UPSC preparation.
How does one deal with this triple burden of age, financial dependence, unemployment?
If we have taken this decision, so then you have accepted the risk. So I met a guy who worked delivery boy in Swiggy. Prime Minister said, I appreciate, pakoda banao should not be dependent on the parents' income. In my graduation, I used to eat just banana and spend my whole day. I did it for a year. I think it's okay to seek help from others. So
Mark Twain has said, age is just an issue of the mind. How should they deal with it and what should be their attitude towards it?
So I believe mind is more powerful than anything. People need to understand is they have to empower their minds.
We are rejecting ourselves even before we try.
So we are always worried about the small things, small issues. Don't care about people. Don't care about the society.
Because the society, has made this, by this age, you should get married. By this age, you should be a graduate. By this age, you should get a promotion.
If you ask me, age doesn't exist. So inside I might feel I'm 60-year-old. I can feel I'm like 5-year-old. Sometimes I'll feel like I'm 25-year-old. Moving into that kind of future where these notions are slowly being destroyed.
They should be, yes.
So the people have started accepting it's okay to get divorced. It's okay to not to marry. It's okay to not to have children.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of our podcast, A Little More Light. Today, I have with me our very favorite mentor, Mr. Vinay. Welcome, sir.
Thank you.
So today, in the spotlight, we have a query that, every aspirant at some point in their preparation journey, unless, they clear in their first attempt, so they face that. The question is, is there a right age, firstly, to start preparation before they start preparing for UPSC? And if, like some people, they start at 25, 26, and they're always so insecure, worried, whether it's late because they see people topping at 22 and, in the very first attempt. Secondly, while preparing, some people have failed like several attempts and, they are unemployed. And of course, they're progressing in age. So they're very insecure about, being unemployed at, let's say 26, 27, and it creates like a huge burden on their minds. So age is actually a huge factor in this exam, which is a burden, and it's not spoken about enough. So today we wanted to address, is age just a number? Is age important, not just in UPSC, whether we're pursuing different, pursuits. So what are your opinions about it, sir?
So I have two takes on this particular issue. One is this is I think going to be unpopular view. Again, my thinking in this regard has evolved over the years. One, the UPSC preparation, we have to define what is UPSC preparation. So UPSC preparation is not just reading a set of textbooks and then thinking that they're going to crack this examination only by reading certain textbooks or only by attending the coaching classes. So that is a wrong notion that people have. The UPSC preparation is much more than coaching, much more than standard set of textbooks. It is something about one's aptitude, one's the depth of their general awareness about the issues, about their personality itself. So the right age, in my opinion, if somebody is thinking about UPSC preparation, it is as early as possible, especially in terms of developing their general awareness. So I'm not asking them to read standard textbooks. I'm not asking them to join any coaching classes. In fact, I'm against it when they are pursuing their, the school education or college education. They should start reading newspapers out of interest, out of curiosity, to understand what is happening around, themselves, their world, their state, their country. Second one, they should develop reading habit. Books, like it can be fiction in the beginning and then move to non-fiction. Read books about economic issues, technology, environmental issues, culture, philosophies, any social issues. So I think the children should be taught or like guided or motivated to read these kind of books. But what I see is people reading only self-help books, people reading motivational stuff. I think that just like time pass stuff. They help in the short term, but long term, I think what helps is the depth they gain from acquiring knowledge because of their innate curiosity, interest in it.
But right now we see, like, from schooling and, even college, during the graduation degree and stuff, they actually study or they read books from a very narrow perspective, like, okay, exam, I need to learn this, this is how this is what I need to learn, this is important. I don't think it's really, at least now, a lot of people, majority of the people don't really do it for the sake of knowledge, to learn or be aware. It's exam point of view, and that's how I think it happens, like, throughout
I
our
mean, that is
schooling
the reason
also.
they're not interested in other books also, right?
Yeah.
They don't want to expand their understanding of the world, understanding of various disciplines. So once they think in that direction, I think that is the beginning of UPSC preparation, right? So if at all they want to get into civil services, they have to. It doesn't mean that they have to be like scholarly, right,
Yeah.
too intellectual. It is not like that. It is about their personality. So when they understand these issues, when they read, when they have diverse opinions, diverse knowledge about so many other things, it adds to their personality. So they'll become better people, better human beings, and all other skills related for the examination naturally develop. So that is one thing. So the right age, in my opinion, is somewhere like 7th 8th standard. They should start reading newspaper, and in addition to their school curriculum, the extra books, and then they should participate in the writing competitions, quiz competitions.
And this is not just for UPSC. Like right now, you've
This is
redefined
in general.
UPSC. Yeah, you've
Yeah,
redefined what is UPSC preparation. I don't think a lot of us actually knew that. Like, what is UPSC preparation? We just think of it as attending coaching classes, giving test series, and then
correct.
going and writing the exam. No
So I
one's
said,
actually got this
I have two
perspective.
viewpoint, right? So
Yeah,
this is one viewpoint.
yeah,
So you start as early as
yeah.
possible. So I never by Lakshmikant, right? Never by Bipin Chandra, never by Spectrum. I'm not asking these people to buy them. I, in fact, don't read anything that is related to UPSC, the so-called standard
Yeah.
textbooks. So keep expanding horizons of your knowledge and other things. Once you make up your mind in the maybe in the first year of graduation, maybe you can slowly start reading these topics related to syllabus one by one, maybe picking up NCRT textbooks or something. And then newspaper should be continuous. So only when you are confident that you have adequate general awareness, so you can pick up random question papers of UPSC, any exam, see them. So you have read something out of interest, now you are able to solve some of those questions,
when
right?
you when you read things out of interest, like actual real interest, you actually remember better, and you can I think you perform better and you remember better because you're reading it as out of interest and not because
And
oh,
it
you
also
have an
takes
exam.
away the stress and everything,
Yeah.
no, that is what. So then if you want proper guidance, right, then you can join coaching maybe in the second third year, like again when you have time away from your academics, right, when you're not too much involved in it, because you have to take your graduation also very seriously. And I recommend people to aim for good colleges where there are extracurricular activities. And also the parents should send their children where the schools are broad and open in terms of educating the children. So there are schools, they just teach all these subject even beyond school hours, so without ever taking them into sports, no extracurricular activities, no exchange programs, no, not any kind of exposure. I think these are all required. So everything will help in UPSC, cracking UPSC examination. And I think these are the kinds of people who are getting better ranks, as I am seeing last 3 years, because in last 2 years alone I have come across nearly 900 detailed application forms.
Okay.
So with whom I interviewed, I have seen their education, where they educated from, where they worked, where they got their higher education, and their hobbies, interest, everything I have seen them. So it definitely has an impact. The second dimension I was talking about, there are people who never knew about UPSC, right, who would have never thought about it. So during when they are employed somewhere, they might start thinking about it. So I think for them also starting point should be this, right. Now as long as they have this confidence that they might not have learnt all these things, but they are going to commit, let's say 2 to 3 years next, if they have the confidence that they are going to learn everything, so then the age doesn't matter. They can start at the age of 25, at the age of 28, even at the age of 30.
Yeah.
But 31, I think, I don't know, like 1 year is too short. But if they were of this nature, participated in extracurriculars, have been reading books and all, I think even 1 year they can learn these things. So age, I think, is not the issue here. It's about one's general awareness and aptitude. And then next, the determination, like within short span of time, can they bring that discipline? Hmm?
But also, sir, there's also this perspective, like you were saying, let us start as early as possible. That's one perspective. But also, do you feel like, one, like they're just fresh graduates, like a lot of them, and they may not have a lot, not a lot of them, but most of them will not have understanding of, societal issues and life in general, work experience, things like that. So, do you think that's important too before, you take the plunge into UPSC
No,
civil
that's
service
very important.
examinations?
Like before you decide about pursuing UPSC, 1 year you should spend time understanding the issues.
Yeah.
So read newspaper. Like I tell people, the freshers, if you are spending 3-4 hours on newspaper, it's a good thing. So they are worried, like I am spending 3 hours on newspaper. Am I wasting time?
And why do you think they're worried? Because they're comparing themselves to
Again, the
people who are very
knowledge
good at
game.
it. Like,
Knowledge game.
yeah.
They want to gain more knowledge in short span of time, and then they want to solve questions and get right answers.
But they're not, see, actually, sir, why someone gets worried, like, let's say, oh, I'm taking 3 hours. They feel that's something wrong. Why? Because if they see someone who's, probably good at it taking 1 hour, and they feel there's something lacking in them, but they don't understand that, what, we all have a different starting point. That person
Correct.
also would have taken a lot of time to learn and come to that 1 hour.
And that is another message I keep giving.
Yeah.
We start from different positions.
Yeah.
Some from a very disadvantageous position, some from advantageous position. Eventually, everyone will reach a similar position,
Like,
right?
we're all a work in progress. We're in the stage of becoming, like, no one
No,
is
there
no
is a
one is
point where
born
everyone is
genius.
same in this
Yeah.
exam preparation. They complete all the textbooks. They have
Yeah.
gained similar knowledge. They have gained similar writing skill. They are scoring similar marks in preliminary test. So to reach that point, it takes extra time to some people
Yeah.
and less time to some people. But eventually, they will reach that position. So till then, people need to be patient and
Patient, yeah.
focus on the
Insecure.
process.
Yes, sir. So, sir, now another thing about age, like the most important thing people face when, that they'll be, firstly, a lot of aspirants leave their jobs, they're unemployed. The age is progressing, they're unemployed. That is obviously a huge burden, financial burden, societal, judgment. They face judgment from everywhere. So these are real factors, and even you have faced it. Like, you are unemployed, except for, like, I think 1 year, six
One and a
months.
half years.
Yeah, 1.5 years. Till the age of 31, you are unemployed until you started insights. So how does one deal with it? Like this, this triple burden of age, financial dependence, unemployment. Like, how does it work? How does one, deal with it, face it?
See, if you have taken this decision, so then you have accepted the risk, right? So in my opinion, you have to give 1 or 2 years dedicatedly without worrying about finances or anything. So you take a loan, you borrow money, you do something. So that's what I said in the previous answer. Like you should have that confidence, clarity. So if you're committed, and then if you're getting the right guidance, then I think you should never worry about all these things, about age, about your employability.
Because the society, has made this, let's say, oh, by this age you should, you should get married. By this age you should be a graduate. By this age you should get a promotion.
So we
These
are moving
yardsticks for
into that kind of
everything.
future where these notions are slowly being destroyed.
They should be, yes.
So I mean, the people have started accepting it's okay to get divorced.
Yeah.
It's okay to not to marry. It's okay
Yeah.
to delay my marriage. So it's okay to not to have children. So I think we are moving into that kind of thinking and putting into practice as well. You being an IAS aspirant, like UPSC aspirant, so I think you should be even more broader in your thinking.
Yeah.
So don't care about society. The only goal, the only purpose you want to be an IAS is to serve, service, right? As long as the service is the motive, so I think not getting married, not having children, I think is the best thing.
Not having even how does one deal with financial, like, of course it's a risk, and you said be confident, but practically, sir, how does one deal with no
See, they have to
finances?
find avenues to earn. I mean, there are opportunities. For example, we ourselves give so many opportunities people who have written, mains, or to people who haven't written mains also. So they may be good in content writing. So they can do some part-time job. They can do content writing. They can do evaluation of papers. So there is a standard procedure for that. They have to go through that. So there are avenues available. It is like it all depends on your thinking personality. Like in cities like Bangalore or Delhi, there are like thousands of opportunities. So I met a guy who worked delivery boy in Swiggy
Yeah.
in the evening. So you would do in the nights like 8 p.m. to 2 a.m. because That is when the traffic is light. He could deliver more, and then enough. He was earning around 30-40K in a month,
Oh,
and
nice.
then daytime
Used to
prepare for the
study.
examination. So what Prime Minister said, I appreciate. Pakoda banao, right? So there are avenues available. If you want to earn, there are so many avenues. I think you just have to be open to these
Look for
things.
them and create them for yourself also, like go after, go after opportunities. Like, let's, rewind again. When you were going through that phase, how did you feel? And now, of course, now you've reached an understanding, and we're dealing with like what people are currently dealing with, aspirants. How do they, like, if you had to tell them
No,
today
I
based on
faced many
experience?
issues.
Yes.
So you always have this compulsion, the feeling that you should contribute to the family financially. You should not be dependent on the parents' income. So it was
And
always
you were the eldest child.
yeah. So at the age of 30, 31, when you are still asking money from your parents, it used to feel weird. More than weird, like self-respect,
Yeah.
so that used to come in my way. And then of course it was not a good thing. So now looking back, I realized that those feelings shouldn't have been there, right?
Why wouldn't it be there? Like, why shouldn't it be there?
I have a different take on this, like
Okay.
different philosophy here. I think as parents, they are under the obligation, right, to support their children, to support the dreams of their children, as long as it takes. So the children have this, a duty to
Yeah.
seek help and support from the parents and anyone uh, they are close to, right? So provided again they have a plan, they have confidence, and uh, they are on the right path in
Like,
pursuing
they're
the
working towards it.
working towards it.
Yeah.
So they should not, one is either they should do part-time job or work and earn. And if the nature of the goal they are pursuing is not allowing them to do some work or anything, I think it's okay to seek help from others. So I used to have like huge so-called self-respect. I used to never ask people. For example, in my graduation, I used to eat just banana and then spend my whole day. Like
Oh my
I
god.
did it for a year.
One banana per day,
2-3 bananas per
but
day.
that's it. You would not get anything
Yeah, like if
else.
you look at my photo when I was during my graduation, I think I weighed around 60-65 kilos. Like I used to be like a skeleton. So then
The college did not give any food. Like, there was no hostel mess. Oh no, you're
I was
not
not
staying in
able to
hostel.
afford.
Oh, you have to pay even for that. Oh yeah.
We have to pay for everything, right? When you are living in Bangalore.
Oh.
So now looking back, I feel bad. Like, I shouldn't have done that. I should have just taken money from everyone and then should have eaten healthily, enjoyed that particular phase.
And you
So
wouldn't tell your parents also you were living like that.
no, they would think, I'm studying so much and then, getting
Become the
thin.
thing.
Yeah.
That's really sad. I think a lot of people don't know that you've
No, my
faced so
friend
much
keeps telling
struggle.
me that, when he introduces now, this guy used to eat only 3 bananas in a day and now
That
he.
that's crazy. I don't think any student would know
Oh, I
this.
mean, that was a phase, but I mean, the point here is not that, okay? The point is that one should not live like that,
Yeah.
right? I mean, you seek help, there is always a phase in your life where you can give back to those people who helped you in that moment.
That's really great. I just want to stop here. Giving back to people who helped you. I think a lot of people forget people who helped them during their times of need.
I differs from individual to individual. I practice gratitude every day. I like to do that.
Yeah,
So
that's
when I
very
go
important.
for morning walk, I rewind my life. That there is a flashback. So there are many people come, in front of your eyes. I do it every day.
That's really nice. So that's a habit. I think everyone, if they learn to be grateful for what they have and for everything that's there, like rather than being upset about things that are not here or upset about things that they don't have, be grateful for what you have, because I think that a lot of people, like if we really compare, who don't even have that much. So always be grateful for what you
And
have.
there are people to support you.
Yeah.
It is just that we don't go and talk to them. For example, there are like hundreds of people in a month who come and seek some kind of help in the institution, and there are people who will never come, right? they don't want to talk about it, or they are fearful about it, or they have some apprehension, they have some kind of ego problem. Maybe they will never come and ask, and they lose these opportunities, right?
Like, seek help. The worst that can happen is someone will say no.
No, even then, when somebody says no, that is also a positive thing.
Okay.
So for me, that is again biggest opportunity, the motivation.
Yeah.
So if somebody says, okay, no, I won't help you, okay, just go back, I don't have money, or I have money, I am not going to give you, you earn for yourself. Let's say somebody humiliates you in that moment, insults you. So even then, for me, that is a positive thing, that somebody is kind of you know telling me that to do bigger things in my life, right? So that is, if somebody is believing in the religion, the God's way of giving you a signal that you are meant to do bigger things in your life, any humiliation, any insult. So after a few years, it feels great to know that you are at certain higher level, and the people who insulted you are still where they are.
But I feel like it is, just a lot of people expect things instantly. They don't have that. See, like you said, I waited for several years. Like, it took you several years to, start whatever, like pursuing your dreams, like properly, right? To accomplish your dreams. It took you several years to get here.
Hmm.
People usually want outcomes immediately, and they don't have that patience to hang in there and
No,
keep
I see many
persevering.
people failing when somebody wants anything instantly. I have seen people here only, like if somebody wants to work, they want everything instantly, right? So uh, if you're not contributing, if you're not working hard, but you are expecting something, right, without contributing, without showing any kind of growth, or without any kind of prospects, I think no. So if you want to expect something, right, then I think you have to contribute, and then other people know that your contribution is really great, and then I think the people will recognize that.
So,
Yes.
sir, Mark Twain has said age, age is just an issue of the mind over matter. Like, if you don't mind the age, it doesn't matter. So, what are your thoughts on it? Like, aspirants deal with several insecurities regarding their age, unemployment, and, financial difficulties and, responsibilities that come with age. How should they deal with it, and what should, how should they deal with it, and what should be their attitude towards it?
So that's a great quote actually. So I believe mind is more powerful than anything. So what we do usually when we are focused on age, employment, social status, everything. So we are not worried about, we don't realize the potential of our own mind, right? So I think what people need to understand is that they have to empower their minds in a way that their mind should have the freedom to be creative, to be imaginative. So when they give power to their mind, I think irrespective of how much time it is going to take, so eventually they will achieve greater things in their lives, right? So we don't think actually, we don't pause and think for a moment that what I can do in my life, what big thing I can achieve. So we are always worried about the small things, small issues that keep irritating me here and there. So that the mind is not getting that required freedom, that required push to really think big. So I think that is a starting point. Once you start thinking big, the bigger things will definitely happen. So if you are worried about age, and worried about employment, worried about marriage, worried about children, not having girlfriend or anything, I think these are all small worldly issue that you should not care much about, and allow your mind uh, to visualize beautiful future for yourself, where you are a very happy individual, where you possess everything that you want to possess, and where you see yourself as doing a great big things, not for yourself but for the society. And that visualization is really very important. Again, it is something to do with ambition, right? Again, ambition, I think we had a discussion
Yeah.
about ambition with contentment. So the contentment aspect is being happy with what you have and what you are going to achieve. So ambition is something about allowing your life to prosper, to
Yeah.
do bigger things.
Discover yourself
Yeah.
also.
So be focused on that, and the things will manifest. the
Yeah.
things will happen to you.
And I think you've done that, sir. Like if you see, you're
No,
like
I
you've
haven't.
always visualized like what you want to achieve, and it has
The small
happened.
things have happened. Small things I had visualized, they have happened, and I'm 100% sure the things I'm visualizing, whatever I'm visualizing, they will happen. Most of them will definitely happen.
Do you also feel like, sir, like as you said, mind matter? It's mind over matter. Like your mind, you should cultivate and develop a strong mind. So do you feel like a lot of aspirants, a lot of people, we self reject ourselves, like, oh, I'm so old, oh, maybe I'm very stupid, I can't do this. We are rejecting ourselves even before we try, right? We have this notion about ourselves. So do you think that's a wrong thing? Like, don't I think a lot of people do that, and they shouldn't do it. Like, don't reject yourself before you try something. Like, okay, if other people reject, it's fine. Why are you doing it to yourself, right?
No, you should not reject. Life is also set of experiments. You have to
Yeah.
allow yourself to trial and error. So you put yourself to experiment. Whatever be the outcome, I think at the end of the day, it will still be good. Something new you have discovered about yourself. Some new strength you might discover in that process of you putting yourself in that experiment. So that is what. No, don't care about people. Don't care about the society. And I think. The people like Virat Kohli, Elon Musk, I think they are the living examples in front of us today. So they went through a cycle of failure, cycles of setback, and they have bounced back mainly because of understanding, their own self,
Yes.
what they are meant to be, and they had a support system. I think we should learn from them.
So age is just a number, and aspirants should stop
Age,
being
age,
bothered
age
about
is
their
just a number,
age.
and if you ask me, age doesn't exist.
It's all in your mind.
It is all people have put a number, like
Yeah.
where is age, like what is your age? What is my age?
Yeah.
How can you say that I am like 38? So then what does that 38 number mean actually,
Yeah.
right? So inside I might feel I am 60-year-old, I can feel I am like 5-year-old, sometimes I'll feel like I'm 25-year-old. So I think this number, it is just for only your qualification, your UPSC attempt and other things.
There's no limit to anything. Age is not limiting you in any way.
No.
Great, sir. Thank you so much. I hope this helps aspirants, and I'm sure it will. It was great talking to you, sir. Thank you so
Thank you so much for making me small Sadguru. Thank you.
much.